20 from the hot lap session, they will automatically make it to the A main. They don't have to deal with qualifying heats here tonight. Anyone outside of the top 20 will go to a B main this evening, and from there we will fill out the field during that B main. So really important right now for these drivers to put down a fast lap, but there's going to be a lot of cars out there, and that's going to make it difficult to get an absolutely perfectly clean lap and put down the best time possible. So it's going to A main, and then once these are concluded, we will go into our opening ceremonies. Matthew Moore on the inside of row number 2 in the 14. And Jonathan Ayrton in the 21 to the outside of the 4th starting spot. Christopher French starts in position number 5, and his outside, Tristan De Silva. And he's in the 0-1. And then
Craig Vlasic, I believe, in the 3K.
Okay.
Cameron Lane in the 24C, and Cody Somerville in the 517. And Greg, the top 4 will transfer out of this race into tonight's A main.
Want down to the inside of Ryan Hiller as they work it down the backstretch into corner number 3. A few drivers here in the B main that we don't normally expect to see here in the likes of Ryan Hiller, who's a rookie this year in this division, but has been a constant threat to win every week in the A main. Even Trevor Want, Jonathan Ayrton, and Tristan De Silva are regularly front runners.
Yeah, that is a surprise, but with a different qualifying format, some drivers aren't as good time trialing, and because the group was so big going out on the racetrack, they didn't all get a real clear racetrack to go and try to lay down laps with. So there were a lot of factors involved in this, as we've got one around in turn 4. That's going to draw a yellow flag.
Cameron Lane comes to a stop down the inside of corner number 4. That brings out the caution flag. In this first B main for the HRW Automotive Ministocks, another 9 cars scheduled to come out in B main number 2.
Track points, which we'll be able to tell you who gets those come feature time. But the best way into the show is just to race your way in, finish in the top 4.
Hiller leads him down the backstretch. Here comes Tristan De Silva working that outside line. He'll take the second spot away from Trevor Want, who's got Jonathan Ayrton tucked in behind him.
Yeah, good run for Tristan De Silva to the outside, and that Let's Landscape Together, number 01. Ryan Hiller leading the way. Looks like De Silva a little bit smoother in the corners, able to maintain better speed through the ends. But Ryan Hiller has been fast all season long. Impressive to watch that 21 machine.
Last time through 2, saw something fly off one of the cars. Hopefully, maybe just a piece of plastic or something there, and won't be a problem as Ryan Hiller leads him down through 1 and 2.
Halfway through this B main event, 4 laps down, 4 laps remaining. Matthew Moore in that 14M trying to close in. He's 1 spot out of a transfer. We're looking at the back end of Jonathan Ayrton in the 21.
Ryan Hiller has been very, very impressive this year in his rookie season, leading the way in that 21H machine. As we mentioned, he's usually up there competing for feature race wins. Doesn't have one just yet, but got a feeling by the end of the year we will see him down at Mr. Transmission Victory Lane.
It's a matter of time, but we've got so many top runners who are capable of getting it done on a weekly basis.
2 laps left to go for Hiller over Tristan De Silva, Trevor Want, Jonathan Ayrton, and Matthew Moore, regular runner down to the Brighton Speedway.
Jonathan Ayrton, I thought he made a miscue there in turn 1 and 2. He lost some speed, but boy, he came down the backstretch with a big head of steam. Ryan Hiller sees the white flag. That means 1 more lap to go in this first B main.
Hiller will set sail down the backstretch for the final time in B main number 1 for the HRW Automotive Ministocks.
Checkered flag in the air. Hiller is going to take the win. He'll make it to the feature event. So will Tristan De Silva in the 0-1. Wow, Matthew Moore tried but came up just short. Trevor Want and Jonathan Ayrton going to make it into the feature event. And Matthew Moore's got a hope that he might have a provisional, but I think he's only been here 1 night this year, Greg, maybe 2.
Second B.
Jeremy May in the 16J. Brian Crosgrove in the 96, Rob Twitchett in the 69, Dave Crumby in the 63, and Mike Guybers in the pinball in the 11. That's how they line up. I really haven't had much to work with tonight, Greg. Like normally you lob some into me a few times a night and we're able to really go back and forth. But
it's early. It's now officially after 10 o'clock Eastern, and that's usually about the time everything goes gaga. So we go down into corner number 1, final B main for the HRW Automotive Ministocks. John Cote leads, but they're now going to make it maybe 4. Now they go 3 wide down the backstretch, and Jeremy May right through the middle, inches ahead of John Cote.
And Daniel McKay looked to be the driver that was about to make a big move, but as it turns out, Rob Twitchett got in there in that blue number 69. Remember, they're all racing to be in the top 4.
Cote, McKay, May, and Twitchett right now in that transfer zone. But it's Jeff Elsliger and Brian Cosgrove right there ready to pounce at any moment, and those are a couple of cars that could do it. Here comes Elsliger.
Even Mike Giberson is still in striking distance if something crazy were to go on. How nice would it be to see Mike Giberson out there with a faster race car, really able to mix it up with these drivers? To my knowledge, he has never missed a race in the history of Ohsweken Speedway. When Ministocks have been on the program since the mid-90s, he has been here.
Graduated in more recent years to the Mustang from the old, what was it, a Chevelle?
Chevette.
Chevette, pardon me, not a Chevelle. A Chevette. And, yeah, I think I'd like to see him in something a little bit newer, because I think he can still wheel a car.
I'd like to know how many times he rolled that Chevette. Like, how many times did that Chevette wind up upside down? I'll bet you could count it in the dozens.
Meanwhile, at the front, great race going on with Cote leading, and here comes Rob Twitchett, who looks really strong in that number 69 machine, the Cal Tire machine on the outside of Cote in that blue car. Here he comes, works the outside line off of corner 4. Cote leads a lap, but Twitchett's got the momentum into 1.
Twitchett up on the high side in the 69. Cote way down at the bottom. There's room for about 3 cars between them, and we might see that happen. Look at that battle down the back straightaway.
Into 3 they go. Twitchett leads over Cote, May, Elsliger, and McKay. Only 4 of those cars will transfer. 2 laps left to go.
And Elsliger actually pushing Jeremy May down the front straightaway. He gets off his back bumper just before they drive into turn number 1, but there's only so much real estate to work with. If he can't get around him, hell, I'll make him a little bit faster.
White flag this time by for Rob Twitchett. Having a great run there in that 69 Cal Tire machine. Jeremy May in second, Elsliger running third. And in the 4th spot, John Cote holding on, but he's got Cosgrove and McKay right there. Crumby's also in the thick of it.
McKay just about ran out of racetrack. Crumby to the inside. Remember, the top 4 move on. Twitchett going to take the win. Second to Jeremy May. Jeff Elsliger third. Cote 4th. And now it'll come down to points. 2 more positions will be added to the starting lineup, and they will be based on point standings here at Ohsweken Speedway.
Would have to think the 96 of Brian Cosgrove might be in a pretty good spot. He's a regular, made a lot of A-mains this year, so you have to think maybe he might be one of those provisionals, but we'll have to wait and see come feature time who officially gets those qualifying spots. It'll be the 177 of Tim Jamieson out of Ohsweken and Kevin Thorne from Caledonia in the 360. Row 10, the 16 of Fabio Oliveri, and the 26 of Tim Newell. Row 11, the 21H of Ryan Hiller, the 69 of Rob Twitchett. Row 12, Tristan De Silva in the 01, the 16J of Jeremy May. Row 13, the 19T of Trevor Want, the 11E of Jeff Elsliger. Row 14, Jonathan Ayrton and John Cote. And back in the final row, Brian Cosgrove and Christopher French. 2 cars tangled up on the backstretch. 2 more down in corner 1 with Trevor Want, Jason Dixon. Rob Hoskins and Wade Thorne were also collected on the backstretch, and we go under the caution flag here on the first lap for the Ministock feature event. Machine. He's one of the point contenders here in 2019 at Ohsweken Speedway on a regular basis, and the point leader and the man to beat so far is that green and white number 19 of Kyle Wirt, as I mentioned, celebrating his birthday today. And by the end of the night, I'd expect him to be somewhere near the very front of the field. That's what we've seen so far this season.
And this is his kind of racetrack. It's a heavy track. Keep the pedal to the floor and just steer the car where it needs to go. Quite a start, dropping immediately to the inside as they're making contact through 1 and 2.
Making contracts they can't keep as Rob Goulding's right in behind. They'll go 4 wide into corner number 3. Wirt will squirt away from that, though, and now he gets, right. I thought he was going to hit the rear end of Miller's machine, but they somehow all make it at a 4.
And you could see he had the car loose, hard on the gas, and then the the back end bit and sent the nose up the racetrack. I'm struggling to find my words tonight, Greg. There's just too much excitement.
It is after 11 Eastern here. Cole Hardy off of corner number 4. Leads the lap with Miller in tow. Sarantaco's back there in the 3rd spot. Cole Hardy is make that Rob Harding into the 4th position. And Kyle Wirt working the bottom side. Now he'll slip into the 5th spot. Look at Wade Thorne. Remember, he had problems on that first green flag, and he is right there in the thick of it as well.
And we've talked about Wade Thorne in recent weeks here at Ohsweken Speedway, where he has had great runs week in and week out, but we don't talk about him quite as much as we've been talking about Kyle Wirt or the DeBoers. But he is one of the dominant forces this season in the mini stock division in that 46.
Dusty DeBoer right there, right behind Wade Thorne. 3 wide behind him as you got Hoskins in there with Goulding and Tolton. 2 of those drivers not usually in the HRW Automotive Ministocks on a regular Friday night. Rob Hoskins runs with our Thunderstocks. Rob Goulding, now this is the first we've seen him here in 2019.
Out in front, Cole Hardy continuing to lead Miller in the 79. And how nice would it be to see Miller have a great run? He has been racing in this division for many, many, many years, as we've got one around in turn 2. Pointed towards the, he pointed towards the outside of the racetrack. So we'll stay green, and this could be a challenge for the race leaders.
Kyle Wirt tucks in behind Cole Hardy as they work around the lapped car of John Cote. What a pack right behind the leaders, though. Miller on the outside, DeBoer on the bottom, Wade Thorne, Mike Sarantakos, Rob Hoskins, all in this lead pack.
Kyle Wirt to the outside of Cole Hardy in turn 2. They race off of the corner. Hardy with the advantage, and my goodness, look at that pack of cars. Steve Miller with a problem in the 79, dropping like a stone out of the top 10.
What a shame, too. He was holding in with the leaders there for quite some time, starting up at the front, now has drifted outside of the top 10. Out in front, here comes the challenge for the lead. Kyle Wirt's got it wound up on the outside line. He'll drop alongside, door to door with Cole Hardy into 3.
Hardy's making good speed on the bottom. Kyle Wirt has been making good speed all season long in that green and white number 19. Halfway through this mini stock feature, Kyle Wirt, the new leader.
Sarantakos right now in that 3rd spot. And now Kyle Wirt goes straight up into corner number 2, into the hay bale. Something breaks on car number 19. And our point leader has troubles and brings us under the caution flag. 7 laps to go in this one.
Was it a flat right front or some sort of steering issue for Kyle?
Cole Hardy, Mike Sarantakos will bring us now to the green. And here comes Kyle Wirt. He's back out on the track, still on the lead lap and in contention. And if anyone can come back with 7 laps left to go, it's that guy.
7 laps. He's only got to pass 3 cars every lap.
Something just exploded down in corners 1 and 2 all over the track.
Somebody lost their igloo cooler in 1 and 2, and it absolutely erupted.
Body panels all over the place down in 1 and 2.
It'll be like a ticker tape parade as the field runs through it and picks it up. What on earth? Did someone drop their homework? My math binder. What is that pieces of?
Now that is a stuffed debris.
Yeah.
Or a stuffed caution. I still got the word debris in there. Stuffed caution. Was it Newell's car? The nose piece of Tim Newell's car.
I almost think it was a piece off of Trevor Want. If we get a chance to see that replay again, I want you to watch Trevor Want in the 19. It's like a pinata in turn 2 as we look again in the 9. Ryan Hiller picked up a few more spots. He's up there in that 7th position. Tristan De Silva, another B-main car, just outside of the top 10, and there are plenty of laps left. 6 laps to go in this mini stock feature.
Green flag back out. Cole Hardy will lead the pack, and they are already 3 wide behind him. Dusty DeBoer on the bottom, Wade Thorne in the middle, Mike Sarantakos on the outside. Here comes Tim DeBoer and Ryan Hiller. They make contact down in 1.
Wade Thorne up into that top 3. He gets moved up the racetrack. Is he going to stay on the outside? No, he'll drive to the bottom to try to make a move for 2nd. But Dusty DeBoer has different plans. DeBoer going to challenge for the lead on the outside.
into corner number 1 they go as DeBoer has the lead now over Cole Hardy in that 7C. Wade Thorne in position 3. Tim DeBoer still hanging there in the top 5. Here comes Rob Hoskins, Ryan Hiller, and Mike Sarantakos 3 wide and 3.
Hiller down to the bottom of that black number 21 machine as Fabio Oliveri goes around in turn 3. Everybody able to avoid that 16 machine. But wow, Fabio Oliveri in reverse, trying to get that car pointed where he needs it to be. That's a sketchy situation with the race leader, Dusty DeBoer, closing in. He'll take evasive action and drive to the inside.
Cole Hardy now will have to get by the 16 car as he's got company on the outside of him. That's Wade Thorne in the 46. Rob Goulding now has worked his way inside the top 5 in that 1R as he gets by Mike Sarantakos.
Goulding in that black number 1 as we've got 2 laps to go.
Kyle Wirt's done a nice job to get himself back up here in the thick of it. I think he needs a caution here to have a shot at the win, but he's had a nice rally here in car number 19.
Chasing that car up the banking, he loses some of his momentum. Dusty DeBoer, I was going to say he's got a visitor. That's Fabio Oliveri, who is a lap down after that spin in turn 3. White flag is out.
Final time around for Dusty DeBoer. Wade Thorne right now holds down second. The fight is for the 3rd spot. Who will make it onto the podium and down to Mr. Transmission victory lane? Cole Hardy has a nose ahead of Tim DeBoer down the backstretch.
Yeah, Hardy with a nice run down the backstretch on the inside, trying to challenge Wade Thorne. Thorne going to slide up in front of DeBoer. The win goes to Dusty DeBoer, 2nd place to Thorne. Cole Hardy rounds out the top 3.
Tim DeBoer will come home in 4th, and Rob Goulding with a nice run gets a top 5 finish. And Kyle Wirt, with the troubles early on, still drives up to Oshwegan Speedway for the Northern Summer Nationals, night number 1. Plenty of racing coming tomorrow night right here at Oshwegan Speedway as well. We are ready to go down trackside to Mr. Transmission victory lane where Dusty DeBoer about to climb.
Yeah, we had the redraw for starting positions tonight. We redrew the top 12. I drew 11th. I thought, oh, this is some pretty heavy hitters ahead of me, but the car was working really good around the middle of the track, and there was a bunch of guys up high. It was tough to clear them, but I had a couple of good restarts. And then, yeah, Kyle had a problem, and it seemed like, I don't know, things just fell just right. And once I was behind the 7, Cole Hardy, he was running the bottom. He was committed down there. I knew I was good up top. And, yeah, the car just ate up there. It was pretty good. It's a little bit of character bumps around the track, but this thing likes it when it's a little bumpy. It makes up for the lack of handling in front-wheel drive. I'd like to thank Mert Timpsonato, Caledonia Auto Supply, Kick-Ass Metalworks, and DeBoer Machining for their help this year. And thanks to Mr. Transmission for putting on this victory lane, and Pinty's for putting on this program
Run
tonight.
for you.
Yeah, it seems whenever Map TV shows up, we perform pretty good. The car was awesome. We tried some new tires tonight. They really worked. We actually qualified really well, and we had a quick car, and there was so much contact at the beginning of the race. I didn't think we'd even finish, but super happy with this guy. Everybody who helped on this car, my dad who really wrenched hard, and my girlfriend for getting us out here.
Solid job, Wade Thorne. Moving over here, Cole Hardy. Cole, you made Oshwegan your home. You had some terrible luck, but this is a good showing for you on live TV.
Yeah, it was really good being up front. We qualified 4th in the time trials, and yeah, we had all those cautions. We thought we would have had her tonight, but you know what? I'm happy to be up here with these guys finally, and yeah, it's been great. I can't thank my fiance for all her help, all my friends in the back, all my sponsors, the track. It's improved like so much, and yeah, thank you guys.
There you have. How about a hand for your top 3? Dusty DeBoer, Wade Thorne, and Cole Hardy get it done here tonight.
Really good to see Cole Hardy down in victory lane here tonight with a top 3 finish.
Happy birthday to my dad. It's his birthday tomorrow.